Have you heard the whispers circulating around Toronto? There's a striking theory that the Leafs may have tried to manipulate their captain into demanding a trade, all in the name of a leadership overhaul. It raises the question, how far is the organization willing to go to shake things up? Join me as we unpack this sensational story and explore what it could mean for one of the franchise's key players. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up to keep up with the latest news. Did the Toronto Maple Leafs really try to push John Tavares into demanding a trade? That's the intriguing claim made by Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos. During a recent episode of the Real Kuiper and Bourne podcast, he suggested that the Leafs might have orchestrated a leadership change, stripping Tavares of the captaincy in favor of Austin Matthews, hoping that this would upset Tavares enough to request a trade. Now let's unpack this. The idea that the Leafs would resort to such tactics is both shocking and, frankly, a bit hard to swallow. Sure, the organization has expressed a desire for change, especially after a disappointing playoff exit. But is throwing your captain under the bus really the way to go? Kypreos theorizes that this move was aimed at getting Tavares to waive his no-movement clause and facilitate a trade. But here's the kicker. Tavares saw right through it. Instead of playing into their hands, he accepted the change with grace, showing real class at the official press conference. Kudos to him for not making a scene. Honestly, I have to commend Tavares. If I were in his shoes, I might not have reacted as graciously. I would have been tempted to demand a trade after being stripped of the captaincy. But Tavares, with all his experience and professionalism, chose to swallow his pride. He's not just a player. He's a leader in his own right, and he seems to genuinely want to make this work in Toronto. Now, let's talk about the implications of this leadership shakeup. While some fans might think this is a step toward a brighter future, I'm personally skeptical. Kypreos hints at the possibility that Tavares wants to stay in Toronto, but I see a different picture. Sure, he's a local guy, but with his contract situation looming, it seems increasingly likely that this will be his last year with the Leafs unless they can pull off something spectacular, like winning the Stanley Cup. And let's consider the broader context here. The Leafs have a core of players that includes Tavares, Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. If they can't find a way to win it all, how long can they realistically keep this lineup intact? It's a tough pill to swallow, but the reality is that the pressure is on for this team to produce results. Tavares could be the odd man out if things don't pan out. Now, as for Tavares himself, he's playing for his next contract. He's looking to prove that he's worth a multi-year deal, and from what I've seen so far, he's doing just that. He looks re-energized and ready to contribute in a solid second-line role. Rather than sulking or showing frustration, he seems to have had a weight lifted off his shoulders. That's the kind of attitude we need on this team as they fight for a playoff spot. So, what does all of this mean for the future of the Leafs? I think it's highly unlikely that Tavares stays beyond the season. The team might throw a lowball offer his way just to keep things cordial, but I doubt they'll commit to him long-term unless there's a significant turnaround. And you know what? I want to hear from you. Do you think the Leafs made the right move by changing the captaincy? Was it a smart strategy? Or was it a miscalculation? I'm honestly torn on this one. Let's discuss it in the comments below. Your insights and frustrations matter, so share your thoughts. Before you go, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow Leafs fans, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any crucial updates. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay in the loop with everything happening with our beloved Toronto Maple Leafs.